welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tito here. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're an existing viewer, thank you so much for stopping by. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to go straight to the chase. Now, I want to talk about how you can be a fantastic home tutor. Right. Now, at some point in teaching life, you might have encountered maybe someone who came to you to teach the child at home or something like that. I had the same experience and I'm going to share it with you during the course of this video. Now, there are some things that you need to do differently. We know that school is there to do the work, right? But the truth of the matter is some children need home support, and which their parents are not able to give to them. So what do? Some parents are proactive. They think about an intervention. That's what I call it. It's an intervention. Don't think that you're going to put a child on support throughout the course of the child's schooling life. I do not really agree to that, except in extreme cases, right? I think that an intervention is a period when there's a need to be addressed and you come in as a professional to address that need. So what are the things you need to know? What are the things that makes you sellable as a home tutor? The first thing is, once you get approached by someone to do home tutoring, ask questions. You need to know the age of the child. You need to know the name of the school the child attends. You need to know maybe just a few more about, okay, what's the right time to come around to do assessment and all of that. I'm moving into assessment because don't just say you're coming to start a lesson, the way we call it. You're just coming to start tutoring on a particular day. No. Your first encounter with the child is meant to be an assessment. And as a professional teacher, if you ask me, from that first point of assessment, you're going to charge the parents. Yes, you heard me right. You're going to charge them and tell them, oh, madam, all right, this is the school your child attends, right? Your child is 7 years old. Your child is in grade 2 or grade 3. This and this and this and this. Okay, for me to start first, I need to come and do an assessment for your child. So we need to agree on a time to say, okay, you schedule the timing, make an appointment. Then you also tell the parent, I do charge for my assessment. You have to charge. It's at your discretion to determine how much you want to charge for your assessment. From that point, the parents will know that you're a professional. Right. You're not just like every other teacher on the streets. You have something to offer. It's just like you're visiting a doctor in the hospital, for crying out loud. You cannot see the doctor if you do not get registered at the desktop or at the receptionist desk. You have to make sure that you pay. So that's the way it runs also as a unique home teacher. So let me move from assessment. Once you do that, go online, get worksheets, or you create worksheets, right? For the age range of the child. Maybe you're teaching math, or you're teaching English, or you're teaching both and all of that. Then talk about the needs that you're meant to meet. Some people will not tell you you're supposed to come and be doing homework for the child. You need to ask questions and be clear from the beginning. Some parents will tell you, all I need you to do to help me is, I need you to help me with my child's homework. I don't come home on time and I need, somebody who will help me with the child's homework. Then maybe alongside, some teaching as well. So you need to talk about it in very detailed form. All right. On the day of assessment, make sure you have all your resources ready. Of course, if you need to get flashcards, take your flashcards with you, your worksheet with you. Even take pencils or colorful pens or whatever. Make sure you have, every teacher should have, make sure you have your own pencil case. Like a teacher, you have a fanciful one, you have your colored pens and everything. So you have to dress the part also. When you get to the home of the client that you're going to do tutoring, make sure you've eaten. Make sure you're not thirsty. Make sure you're fine, because you're going there to work. All right. So it's like a teacher. I will always do my analogy towards the doctor. You can't go to a doctor's office and a doctor comes visiting you to check on you and you expect him to sit down. There's something called professionalism. All right. So you just go there, do what they will offer you, because you're coming into their homes, into their own space. So they offer you food, they offer you water. I would rather advise, do not take anything. Do not take anything. So sit down with the child, relax. That first day is for you to examine the child, to observe the child, and the child is also observing you. Some children will warm up to you from the very first day. Some children are like that. They will just jump over you. they will just fall in love with you from the first day. Depends on how, there's just something about children and their psychology. Whereas some children are very, very reserved. They might just suck everything in and not say anything, right? But they are making their impression about you. So be nice in your tone. Let your tone be sweet but not pretentious, okay? Be as endearing as you can be, just like maybe you're relating to your own children or your own children to be. So you have to be very loving, very sweet, very warm, and all of that. Then you do your assessment in a playful method. It depends on the level of children or child that you're assessing. So you play around it. If it's early years, of course, you have a lot of coloring activities to do and all of that. So you get the child relaxed. And if you've discussed with the parent, if they are not going to be around at that time, you can tell them, ask for their permission to video. Yeah, to make a video. So you go with your phone stand, you set your phone, and your interaction with the child is recorded so that they can see. Right? The power of video these days, we never can undermine it. So after doing your assessment, get to know the child better. Don't ask personal questions, but children will always have a way of, when they like you, they keep talking, but be very, very wise in your discussion with the child. So you ask about the school, the subject the child loves, what the child loves to do, and all of that, where the child has challenges in schoolwork. So you're trying to, diagnose, all right? Diagnostic assessment. You're trying to diagnose what you're going to be going there for. Right. So when you do that, scribble your notes or something, and also, so from that first day, you give reports to the parents by maybe phone calls, or you send the video to tell them this is what happened and explain in detail, this is what I did and everything. Well, like I said, the first assessment, if you're confident enough, should be paid for. So even if they don't want to engage you as a home tutor, you're fine. Right? They engaged your expertise for that day or for that hour, right? So they have to pay for it. So make sure you get your money paid for that first day. So even if you're not called to come and start the real home tutoring, then you're good and you move on, right? But most cases, if you package yourself very well, right? If you're well packaged, they will call you back. Trust that. So after that, you give your feedback to the parents and you're told, okay, come and start, then you discuss your fees. I would advise that you charge per class you take. And there's a reason for this. So it gives room for accountability. Now, I always leave this disclaimer at the end to tell the parents, because I do work, I'm not able to do so and so. All right? I remember when I was really heavily into home tutoring, it was a big deal for me. I took it as a business because I knew what I was, after at that time. So when you do that, you make sure you clock in. You have a clock in and clock out system. It could be a book, right, that you have. Okay? It could be you agreeing to say, okay, I'm going to take pictures once I get to your house, when I'm starting or when I'm finishing. I'm going to send you a text message, which, of course, the parents can always double check with the adults in the house to say, okay, she just walked in, right? Okay. Just for you to build that trust and accountability. Don't agree that you're going to do 1 hour, you're doing 40 minutes. It's not right. That's cheating. It's not right. Okay? So set that standard from the beginning. Over time, if you're really very professional, I'm telling you, they will not want you to go. They won't want you to leave. All right? Because you're showing professionalism, you're showing care for the child, the child will be making progress, and everybody will be fine. Okay, so let me go back to where I stopped the other time. So when you do that, when you start your lesson, clock in and clock out, make sure you do that. Make sure you're never hungry to the home of the child you're teaching. Let me repeat that. Make sure you don't go hungry to the home of the child you're teaching. Even if you have to do some snacking, do that on your way there. So when you're there, you're not hungry and you're not tempted to eat anything. Don't do that. I need to say that point. So when you start doing the assessment for the child, make sure you do a report. It could be after each official. You can imagine charging. I don't want to peg a fee to it because I have viewers from different parts of the world. You could decide to charge the parent, maybe, let's say, let me use a particular figure, 100 naira, right? Or 100 dirhams per hour, right? Okay, so it's work, it's a wage. You're making that money. So give a report of what you've done. It could be a few sentences of, okay, I did this, this, and this with John today. We're able to finish so, 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 and so, and so, and so. He was able to do this independently. I assisted him to do this. Just be very detailed. Make an outline, right? Drop the notes there. Take a screenshot so that you can have your own copy. Send it to the parent, or keep it, have a file in the child's house where you keep those kind of things. All right? Because there's no how you do this and not make progress. Then after diagnosing the child and you've done your own assessment, you can now tell the parents to say, okay, if there's any curriculum or any outline of work they've given this child to do in school, please can I look through? Can I look through the child's notebook and textbook? So I know I'm working on handwriting. Because there are so many other things that will come into play, right, that you did not agree on. But things that you know is going to help your work. For example, you're teaching the child English and the child doesn't have good handwriting. Of course, you know that you have to work on the handwriting, right? Of course, you know you need to work on sentence construction. Of course, you know you need to do a lot of work in terms of parts of speech and all of that. So those are the things that will come in, right? So if you have the outline of the school, depends on how, let me say, how brilliant the child is. Some children are, okay, so you know how to scale it up. You know, some children could be slow learners, so you know you have to take it at a particular speed. All right, so once you do that, have a period of intervention. When you have a discussion with the parent, tell the parent, I'm going to be able to do this. I hope to be able to do this for the next 3 months. And they'll say, oh, I want you to do it for 6 months. You tell them, don't be greedy and say because you're making money. No, make it as short so that it's easy for it to be measured. All right, say within these 6 months, I want to help Jane to read 2-letter words or 3-letter words or whatever it is. Make it measurable, smart goals. All right, so once you do that, even it's easier for you to know if you're making progress with the child or not. And you tell the parents, if you do not see results at a particular point in time, then you're sorry, you have to discontinue your service. All of this you're saying it with a smile, right? But you know that it's your profession, it's your job. It's just the way maybe a doctor handles the patient and the doctor is seeing some things that, okay, I think I need to refer this child, okay? I need to refer this child to a pediatrics. I need to refer this child to another specialist and all of that. So that's the way teaching also works sometimes. Some children could have maybe special needs, which the parents might not really be aware of, or maybe they are still trying to to get solutions to, they don't know how to go about it. So at that stage, you're not supposed to say, okay, I think your child should see X, okay? So when you do that, you're helping the child. There's a progression, and every parent will be happy to find a home tutor or a teacher who has taken the pains to be very thorough with his or her child. So tell me, why won't you get paid? Why won't you be considered a fantastic home teacher? Be considered, and you'll be referred, because once they can see the progress in the child, and once the child can love you, I'm telling you, you're in for a good time. This is something I did about, let me say, about 10, 11 years ago. I was really into home teaching, and I'm happy that I was mentored by people, by teachers who were more mature than I am, who were able to put me through, and they will say, it's about you being detailed, it's about you knowing what you're doing, it's about you giving your extra. Because if my child then, the student I taught, had a project, he will not want to do it until I get there. So the parent will send me the outline for the homework, and all I'm doing is, okay, do we have so at home? Okay, I need to get a glue stick, I need to get this. So I get everything, and we sit down and do it with the child's input. I'm not just doing it so that I'm doing it for you, but the child is happy. So within my period of intervention, I have added so many skills in that child. Skills. It's not just about teaching, it's about instilling skills in the child. How independently can this child work now? How has this child moved from reading range A to reading range B? How is this child able to communicate effectively? How is this child able to solve some sums and all of that? So all those are things that you should consider if you want to be a home tutor teacher. Don't be a kind of teacher that you go to someone's house and be eating. Don't be a kind of teacher that you are so aggressive with the child. No. If you're not having a good day, please be honorable enough to tell the parents, sorry, I didn't have a good day today, or I had a long day in school, I'll not be able to come around. And because it's on pay as you go, right? So they pay you for each lesson, right? You're not losing, and you rather have your integrity in check than you going there, you're dozing off on the table because you want to earn the money for that day. It doesn't work like that. You need to protect your integrity. And so this is one way that would also make you be very detailed, because one of the best ways of learning is one-on-one learning. It helps a lot, especially at the formative age of the children. So those are the ideas I want to share with you as a home tutor. A lot of home tutors who are qualified tutors, experienced tutors, passionate tutors make so much money from tutoring. And these days, because of the coronavirus, some people do online home tutoring, which is now what it is, unlike what it was 10 years ago when I started the home tutoring thing and all of that. But in everything, your passion needs to show through, your thoroughness needs to show through, the love for the child needs to show through, and your everything, it's just a package. So you need to package yourself. You need to sell yourself. You need to be marketable. I had some people during the corona period who were recommended to teach children from Nigeria. The teachers were based in Nigeria, and they got contacted to teach children who were in the UK. And they did that for about 5 months or 6 months, and they made so much money. So you can imagine how, you can make so much for yourself. Gone are the days where everything has to be in the walls of the school. But you need to know something. There are some rules with some schools. If your school doesn't permit you to teach children in the school, don't do it. If the policy of where you are says you shouldn't do it, do not do it, right? Because I have, like I said earlier, a lot of people from different parts of the world. So what obtains here might not be what obtains there. So you understand your own system better. You know how you can protect your integrity. And if your school is not allowing you to do it, you can do it for children in other schools. So the world is big enough for everybody to fly. But you need to do what you need to do. And I'm really passionate about teachers getting extra money, because I know some teachers who are earning so little amount of money. It's barely enough to take them home, right? And I will just tell them, what can you do? What do you have in your hands that you can use to impact other people? I have people in some areas, in, let me say, less advantaged areas, where after school they have a place where they put the children, they teach them, and they pay maybe per day or per week, and the children will go home, and they also impact morals on the children. So it's not just even you teaching matter, English or skills or everything. You have to teach children empathy. So you are going there to make a mark. That's the summary of everything I'm trying to do. So don't just see yourself as a home tutor. You're going there to dish it out and go. That's the difference between us, human beings as teachers, or the difference between us and being a robot. Right? A human being will look at you in the face and tell you, or when you're making a mistake. The human touch is still something that money can, we have to do it in the right way. So that's my own experience so far about home tutoring as a teacher. If you think it's something you want to consider to make money in 2022, please go ahead. I remember years ago, I had to do it because I was doing some courses at the side, and they were quite expensive. And I cannot forget the impact that made in the course that I did. So as a teacher, look for ways where you can make your money. Stop grumbling as a teacher. Get busy. Do your work. If you're engaged in things like this, you won't even have time for staff room gossips. You won't have time, because your head is thinking. You want to do your work well in school, because you don't want one work to suffer for the other one. You're thinking of how you're going to maybe print out worksheets or get resources to help the other children that you're going to teach later on. You're thinking of how to conserve your energy. You're thinking of how to be creative. So there are even some things that you learn when you're teaching other children, maybe from other schools, that you can bring into teaching children in your school. So it's all about you doing and, and exploring and discovering more of yourself and helping the children. And I must say, I made long-lasting relationship with children that I took home tutoring with them, unlike now that I can't really do much right now because I'm into some other stuff. But I hope this video blesses someone today. I hope it gives you empowerment. I hope it gives you a sense of belonging and professionalism to go out there as a teacher and say, I want to make more money for myself in a professional, fantastic, and unique way. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.